Hey everybody, this is Justin Williams with Raven Lunatic Leather, and this is working on a pair of tooled leather Chukka boots. I got the pattern for them off of Etsy from Velevro Studio. The design itself largely came from the Mighty Oak, which is available through Tandy, and I ended up adapting this to be pieces for the toe and the heel of my new pair of Chukkas. I've already cut out the pieces of the pattern for the upper, and I've already transferred the design onto the leather, made the marks for sewing it all together. So this part is really just getting into the actual carving and tooling of the design onto the shoes. So here I'm using the swivel knife to cut the design in. The swivel knife is by slice. And as you can see, I oopsed there and managed to recover. And just slowly working through. I'm not going to make you watch the whole cutting of this, but the knife does a great job of just letting me get into this relatively thin leather. This is 4 to 5 ounce vegetable tan oak, or I'm sorry, vegetable tan leather. Oak leaves on the leather. There we go. So quick little spritz of water just to restore some humidity to the leather before I continue carving. And then we'll start getting to the beveling and all of the shading pieces that'll be going on. Once we get past this, I'm kind of speeding it up so you don't have to sit through all the pieces of this. And here I've gone through and I've beveled all of the outer edges. Now I'm just working on shading the leaf overlaps. I'm working with a thumbprint shader and just going around all of the pieces where one leaf overlaps the other, going through and accenting the curvature of the acorns, and then going through and starting to do some shading. Quite a bit of just run through on this. A lot of it is very repetitive, but you should get the idea pretty quickly. Going along the veins and accenting that curvature of the leaf. A little bit where I am out of focus, and you get some great shots of my dirty fingernails. Next up, I'll go through with the background shader and kind of fill in some of the open spaces, go back and do a little bit more, and I'm doing some detail cuts with the swivel knife, putting the cross hatching on all of the acorn caps, and working my way through and updating some of the, or shading in some of the veins of the leaves so that those get accented a little bit more. They'll take the stain and the antique a little bit more and come out as well. And finally, I'm going through with the modeling spoon and just kind of smoothing out the sharp edges of the veins here. Unfortunately, the spoon was a little out of frame for this, but I have one coming up in a moment, and you can see a little better what I'm up to. This vein here, just kind of taking the sharp edge off of the vein itself, and you'll see a few of those coming in. Working on the stem of the acorn, just kind of taking off the sharp edge, like I said. What you're seeing in this section is the piece of the shoe that goes over the top of my foot and over my toes. I'm pretty much doing the same thing on the sides of the heels, just with a slightly different pattern, but all the same mechanics going on in here. And once this is all done, then I'll pull this out, and that is the finished toe of my Chukka boots. Now I just have to stain and all of that fun jazz.